Hello, Meg here, and I've got my Native American flute. Now, some of you may have heard this flute referred to as a cording flute, or maybe even some of you call your own flute a cording flute. What's the difference? Is there a difference between Native American flute and a cording flute? Long story short, for the most part, no. We're going to talk about that today in this video. Now, as many of you know, Native American music is, for the most part, purpose-driven, meaning it has a function, either to coax the first laugh out of a baby, or to affect the weather, or to woo lovers. This instrument is often used to woo lovers, and it's often called, for that reason, the cording flute. Across the many different Native American nations of North America, there are many different origin stories of the cording flute, many different styles of playing cording songs or wooing songs that have been passed down from generation to generation. Some of them are intended to almost cast a spell, to put the intended, the target of the love, the woman, into a trance-like state. As these lyrics from a Pima melody that was recorded in 1927. The lyrics, roughly translated, are, "I play my flute and shake her heart. Oh, when the sun goes down, I make my flowers bloom. I shake her heart." So that's meant to set the woman into a trance to fall in love. But far more often is that the wooing songs would be kind of really sad, and songs expressing loneliness maybe of the lover who's seeking a partner, or intended to make the woman feel lonely, so she's going to have to seek out whoever the flute player is and find comfort from the flute player. Traditionally, historically, people who played Native American flute were men, and so the men were doing all the courting. There are some people still today who feel very strongly that only men should play Native American flute. I'll give you a personal story. About a year and a half ago, I went to South Dakota. I was visiting the National Music Museum there in order to look at the instruments. And outside the museum, I met a Lakota man who was there giving a series of lectures on visual art. But he was of the Lakota Nation. And so I expressed I was happy about the fact that the National Music Museum had commissioned Lakota flute players and flute makers to make some flutes specifically for the museum to put on display. And I said, oh, it's too bad they didn't commission them to actually perform. And the man became rather agitated. And he said, yeah, and they're even letting women touch the flutes now. That doesn't just cancel out the magic, it makes the magic go backwards. So this was a man in June of 2004 who believed very strongly that women shouldn't even touch, let alone play, a Native American flute. This is actually in direct contrast to some other people. You've heard me speak about R. Carlos Nakai. He developed a system of notation called Nakai tablature. And the goal of developing this system of notation was so that as many people as possible could learn to play and enjoy the Native American flute, whether you're of Native American descent or not, and regardless of your gender. Today I'm going to play one of those songs, a courting song that is intended to make the woman lonely. In fact, the name of the song is called Lonesome Flute, and it comes from the Yuchi tribe. I've gotten this and the lyrics to the last song out of a great little book called A Cry from the Earth, Music of the North American Indians. It was written by John Beerhorst, first published in 1979. So this song, Lonesome Flute, was first recorded being played by a man named Jim Tiger around 1900. And right after he played it, I'm going to paraphrase some of the things he said, was, "This song will make the woman so lonely, and then they'll come find you. Oh, I only wish there were some women here now. I feel badly for myself." He was sad that he played the song and apparently the spell hadn't worked in that strange setting where someone was recording him. Well, I'm going to play the song now, once through, and the second time through is going to be a tiny bit different. You're supposed to play it many, many times and then improvise your little ornaments or decorations. So here's Lonesome Flute, first recorded by a man named Jim Tiger in 1900. Thanks for watching. Follow for more great stuff.